Welcome back to another explainer. You know, we love taking everyday objects and just completely breaking them down into the science and practical tips you never knew you needed. Today, we're putting the spotlight on an item that's, well, it's probably sitting on your desk right now, or maybe sweating in your car cup holder, or for sure dominating your social media feeds. I'm talking about the glass and bamboo tumbler. You probably bought it because, let's be honest, it looks fantastic and you wanted to be a bit more eco-friendly. But here's the real question. Are you actually taking care of it correctly, or is it secretly turning into a weird science experiment? Okay, let's dive into this highly relatable nightmare that plagues the trendy Tumblr community. We have all been there, right? You leave your cup in the car over a long, hot weekend, and suddenly it's literally a biohazard. Take this quote from a Reddit user, for example. It hits the nail on the head. They drink hot cocoa, completely forgot about it overnight, and now that rotten milk smell slowly penetrates literally every single new drink. I mean, yuck. But why does that smell just refuse to wash out no matter how hard you scrub or how much dish soap you use? Why do these lids seem to hold on to the ghosts of our past beverages? Well, to solve this mystery, we are going to unpack the anatomy of these everyday items. Here is our agenda for today. We'll start with the bamboo tumbler trend, compare borosilicate versus soda lime glass, look at the bamboo lid dilemma, examine the science of the seal, go over proper care and cleaning, and wrap up with a mason jar cold brew recipe. Let's pull out our microscopes and get right to it. All right, Section 1, the bamboo tumbler trend. Let's look at why these cups have taken over our kitchen cabinets. So it's no secret that we're seeing this massive cultural shift away from those flimsy, single-use plastic cups you get at the drive-thru. We're moving heavily towards sustainable, tech-driven home solutions. Brands like ANOTION, which started in San Francisco back in 2015, brilliantly recognized this shift. They took eco-friendly materials and combined them with that really nostalgic classic mason jar aesthetic, creating this massive lifestyle trend. And they totally hit the sweet spot with that 24-ounce capacity. It's the absolute perfect size for a large iced coffee, a generous boba, or a massive morning smoothie. Plus, they bundle them with reusable glass straws to elevate the whole vibe and taper them to fit securely right into standard car cup holders. It's basically the ultimate fusion of modern style and daily utility, making it so easy to ditch the plastic. Moving on to Section 2, borosilicate versus soda lime glass. Beyond just looking good, there's actually a serious materials science battle happening right in the body of your cup. This breakdown right here perfectly illustrates why you should care deeply about what your cup is made of, especially if you're subjecting it to extreme temperature changes. Imagine grabbing a freezing cold tumbler out of your fridge and just pouring a shot of boiling hot espresso straight into it for a quick iced latte. If you're using standard soda lime glass, which has a thermal shock resistance of only about 40 to 60 degrees Celsius, well, that temperature jump is going to turn your morning coffee into a dangerous, shattered mess all over the kitchen counter. Taking it from the fridge to the microwave? Extremely risky. But borosilicate glass, that stuff is an absolute powerhouse. It can handle a thermal shock of 150 to 300 degrees Celsius, meaning it's totally safe for your oven, your microwave, and yes, your boiling espresso. So how does it pull that off? It's all thanks to a secret ingredient called boron trioxide. This addition prevents the intense high internal stress that causes normal soda lime glass to shatter. It basically gives the material an extremely low coefficient of thermal expansion. To picture this, think of standard glass like a rigid piece of hard plastic that just snaps the second you bend it. Borosilicate, though, has this tiny bit of microscopic give built right into its chemical structure. Its volume barely changes when the temperature spikes. It just naturally handles the heat, saving you from a total kitchen disaster and a ruined morning. All right, Section 3, the bamboo lid dilemma. Let's see how our materials science journey leads us to the most frustrating part of the tumbler. This right here explains exactly why our Reddit friend couldn't banish that rotten milk smell, and it boils down to one word: hygroscopic. Bamboo is a hygroscopic material. That means without really rigorous management, the wood acts exactly like a sponge. It constantly absorbs and releases ambient moisture from whatever is inside the cup. Over time, this natural property leads to dimensional warping of the lid. But worse, it literally sucks that moisture and any accompanying bacteria deep down into the wood grain. It traps those nasty odors where a simple surface scrub with a kitchen sponge just cannot reach. Next up, Section 4, Science of the Seal. To combat that super porous nature, manufacturers really have to engineer a specific fix. And spoiler alert, the preservation power of your cup doesn't actually come from the bamboo at all. It comes entirely from the food-grade silicone ring. According to NSF certified lab testing, a silicone gasketed bamboo lid actually extends refrigerated food freshness by up to 2.3 days compared to just a standard bamboo only lid. This silicone is the real hero here. By compressing tightly against the glass rim, it creates a perfectly sealed microenvironment. That tight seal effectively blocks out ambient oxygen and moisture, which, as we know, are the two main culprits behind food spoilage and bacteria growth in your drinks. Now, I know it sounds like a bit of work, but despite the maintenance required to keep these lids pristine, they offer massive eco-friendly benefits if you care for them and replace them properly, which is usually every 6 to 18 months. The math here is overwhelmingly in favor of the planet. To put it into perspective, one sustainably sourced bamboo lid can replace around 180 single-use plastic lids over a year of regular weekly use. So yeah, you do have to baby them a little bit, but one single lid effectively saves 180 pieces of toxic plastic from hitting your local landfill. That's a huge win. And that brings us to the absolute golden rule of tumblers, the finger-tight plus quarter-turn rule. We really need to stop over-tightening our lids. When you crank that lid down like you're trying to seal a submarine hatch, you're actually doing severe damage. Over-torquing reduces the seal integrity by up to 40% because it physically warps the bamboo fibers under that extreme pressure and deforms that crucial silicone gasket we just praised. The right way? It's so simple. Seal the lid just until you feel a firm resistance, and then rotate it exactly 1/4 turn more. That is literally all it takes for a perfect, lasting seal. Okay, Section 5, proper care and cleaning. So how do we rescue a smelly lid, or better yet, prevent mold from forming in the first place? Let's run through the protocol. By following these exact steps and absolutely avoiding the dishwasher, which will completely destroy the wood, you can easily banish odors and keep your lid's shape. Step 1, never soak the lid. That just feeds the hygroscopic swelling we just learned about. Just wipe any visible mold with a soft cloth. Step 2, sanitize with a mix of 1 part vinegar and 2 parts water. Vinegar is absolutely crucial here because it safely kills mold spores right at the root without using harsh chemical bleaches that the porous wood would just absorb. Step 3, air dry completely, face up for 48 hours. Face up is key so gravity helps that trapped moisture escape. And finally, step 4, condition it with food-grade oil. This acts as a hydrophobic barrier, basically blocking future liquids from penetrating the grain. Finally, Section 6, mason jar cold brew. Now that your 24-ounce glass cup is pristine, odor-free, and safe, let's put it to work. Cold brew is a total game changer, especially for anyone who suffers from acid reflux or heartburn, but still wants that massive daily caffeine hit. It's all about cold brew chemistry. Normally, high heat violently extracts the bitter acids and heavy oils from coffee beans, but when you steep the grounds entirely in cold water, you bypass that harsh chemical reaction completely. The result is a delicious coffee that's an incredible 60% less acidic than standard hot brewed coffee. It is remarkably smoother, naturally sweeter, and just so much less bitter. And this wildly simple process saves you an absolute fortune at the local coffee shop, all while perfectly utilizing that massive capacity of your mason jar tumbler. Just drop 4 heaping tablespoons of your favorite dark roast right into the jar. Add 3 cups of cold filtered water. Pop your lid on, and remember that gentle finger-tight plus quarter-turn rule so we don't ruin the seal. Give it a vigorous shake, and then just let your fridge do all the heavy lifting overnight for about 12 to 24 hours. The next morning, strain it with a fine mesh or cheesecloth, and boom, you wake up to a massive coffee shop quality drink for mere pennies. So, by understanding the true science of your glassware, everything from the thermal expansion of borosilicate to the highly hygroscopic nature of wood, you can easily elevate your daily routines and leave those rotten milk smells securely in the past. Just make sure you know exactly what materials you're working with, treat your bamboo with the care it actually requires, and please stop over-tightening those silicone seals. The next time you reach for that trendy cup, ask yourself, what's really hiding in your favorite coffee cup, and are you finally ready to brew smarter?